Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on completing the square. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. You will have an opportunity to subscribe to my channel at the end of the video. You can subscribe at any time on my channel page. You are also invited to share this video with your friends. Thank you in anticipation. Completing the square. This can be a very useful method for solving quadratic equations. Example 1. Solve x squared plus 4x minus 5. Now let's add 5 to both sides to end up with this line here. When we simplify that line, we end up with this line here. Now, this method involves completing the square on the left-hand side, so that's what we're going to do. And you might ask, why are we doing that? We are doing this because we want to create an expression on the left-hand side which is a perfect square. Now, if you remember the earlier videos, if you saw them, you remember a plus b all squared, how we expanded that. And a plus b all squared, that's a perfect square, but that's the expansion of it. And remember, to get the middle term, twice their product, so a times b, and you multiply by 2. That's why you have 2ab. So we're going to use that little trick to complete the square here. So all we do, we find half of 4, which is 2, and we square 2. So 2 squared gives you 4. So there you are. We've completed the square. But remember, we have to add 4 to that side to keep the equation balanced. So the left-hand side is x plus 2 all squared. The right-hand side is 9. If we find the square root of both sides, x plus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 9. So x plus 2 equals plus or minus 3. Now a little trick here, remember, the square root of 9 is 3, because the square root of any number is just positive. But the plus and the minus, they are here. That doesn't mean that the square root of 9 is minus 3. The plus and the minus were there already, so we just take them down to the next line. So if we subtract 2 from both sides, we get x equals minus 2 plus or minus 3. So that gives us x equals minus 2 plus 3, or x equals minus 2 minus 3. We end up with x equals 1 when we simplify that, or x equals minus 5 when we simplify that. And they are the answers to the original quadratic equation. Example 2. X squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2 from both sides. When we complete the square, half of minus 4 is minus 2. When we square minus 2, we get 4. So we're adding 4 to that side to keep the equation balanced. So x minus 2 all squared equals 2. Of course, minus 2 plus 4 is 2. Finding the square root of both sides gives us this line. Add 2 to both sides, so x is 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. And that's the answer. It's an irrational answer. It has to stay like that if you want an exact answer. This next one here is a little bit more involved, and the reason is because of the 2 here. So normally in front of the x squared you might have a 1, which makes it a lot easier, but this is a 2. So what we do, we divide both sides by 2 to get that line here. Then we subtract 3 on 2 from both sides, so that gives us that line there. Now we complete the square. So if we take 7 on 2 and we halve it, that gives us 7 on 4. When you square 7 on 4, that gives you 49 on 16. So you add 49 on 16 to both sides. So there's the left-hand side, x minus 7 on 4 all squared. There's our perfect square. The right-hand side is this. I have changed 3 on 2 to 24 on 16 to give us the same denominators, because that's easy to work out that answer then. So x minus 7 on 4 all squared is 25 on 16. We take the square root of both sides, so x minus 7 on 4 equals plus or minus 5 on 4. So we add 7 on 4 to both sides, so x equals 7 on 4 plus or minus 5 on 4. So if x equals 7 on 4 plus 5 on 4, that gives us 12 on 4, which is 3. And this line, 7 minus 5 is 2, so 2 on 4 is a half. So here are the two answers to the quadratic equation. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle, what is the meaning of the following? Make up. I wonder if you got that one. I think you might have. Answers to the quick quiz, and the video is at your disposal. If you found this video useful, please subscribe on the next slide. You'll receive a notification when the next video is available. Please share with your friends. Hope to see you next lesson.